Hi, this is Miss Wright, and today I want to take a look at motifs in Romeo and Juliet. Later on, you may be asked to trace a motif or a theme, and so I'm giving you a sample of how that's done. I'm going to look at dreams because I like the idea of looking at the dreams, but there's also a lot of text evidence, and whatever theme or motif you choose, you're going to be asked to provide substantial amount of text evidence for your ideas. So here in Act 5, Romeo begins the act by talking about a dream that he had, and in the dream he actually dies, but he's revived by Juliet's kisses, and he talks about how wonderful that was and how much better the reality of enjoying her kisses would be. And so I have in Act 5, there are several references to the idea of dreams, as if all these events are as unreal and unreliable as a dream. Romeo's words become ironic because his belief in Juliet's death is as false as a dream. This is when he gets news that Juliet has passed away. Balthazar erroneously gives him information that Juliet has died and been placed in the tomb, and he can't believe that this could possibly be real. And then later on, towards the end of the act, Balthazar actually uses the idea of dreams when it says Balthazar, Romeo's servant, dreams about a fight, which ironically did happen while he was asleep. So the idea of reality and fantasy merging and becoming one. In this section it says, in faith I will let me pursue this face. This is when Mercutio is killed. Romeo also kills County Paris, who is at the tomb to give Juliet's grave some flowers, and he runs into Romeo. They have a sword fight, and he is killed. And Romeo, in the speech after killing County Paris, says that he heard that this man wanted to marry Juliet, but he's not quite sure if it's true. Maybe that was just a dream also. So that the word dream comes back there. And this is when Balthazar was asleep under a tree, and he says, I dreamt my master and another had fought, and that my master slew him or killed him. So the many references to dreams is a motif, meaning a pattern that comes back. It's repeated throughout the play. This motif points to the theme of illusion versus reality. So the motif is not a theme, but the motif is a pattern that cues us into the fact that this may be a theme, or a theme can be produced by examining the motif. In the end, we are left thinking how nice it would be if only they had not died. So by the end of the play, we're left wishing that all of the events have been simply a bad dream from which Romeo and Juliet could awaken, or we could awaken, and that they would actually be alive to live happily ever after. Now, all good writers, they don't just plant the motif near the end. The motif starts from the very beginning. So if we go back to Acts 1 through 4, we can find a lot of evidence to support our idea that dreams are a motif. So right here on page 688, which is near the beginning, it's in Act 1. Romeo and Mercutio are on their way to the Capulet party, and they are joking around with each other, and they begin to talk about dreams, where Romeo says, I dreamt a dream tonight, and so did I. Mercutio says, well, what's yours? And Mercutio says that dreamers often lie, and Romeo finishes the idea by saying, in bed asleep while they do dream things true. And that's another little hint to the idea that dreams and reality are merging in this play. Fantasy and reality, illusion versus reality, are kind of at odds in this play. So Shakespeare does not begin the motif in Act 5. Like all accomplished writers, he plants this seed of the theme at the beginning of the play, and the seeds grow into the final pages of the reading. In Act 1, Romeo and Mercutio are on the way to the Capulet party. Part of their banter touches upon the idea of dreams. Soon thereafter, right on the next page, I believe, Mercutio has that famous speech. It's really long, about 40 something lines, where he talks about Queen Mab. And Queen Mab is this fairy queen who comes at night, and she comes to different kind of people, and she gives them different dreams depending on their different occupation or their different personality. So there's an entire speech that's just dedicated to dreams, which is a big clue that dreams are important in this play. The next section, where at the end of that speech, where Mercutio has to kind of reel himself back in because he's gone off on a tangent, and he says, "True, I talk of dreams which are the children of an idle brain, begot of nothing but vain fantasy, which is as thin of substance as the air, and more inconstant than the wind." So Mercutio has to remind us and himself that dreams are the product of an idle brain. When you're asleep, you have nothing to do, and your brain has dreams, and they are just fantasy. They have no substance to them, no matter how real they may seem. And one final example is when Romeo says, "Oh, blessed, blessed night, I am afeard," meaning I am afraid, being in night, all this is but a dream, too flattering sweet to be substantial. This is after he's met Juliet, and they've declared their love. So when Romeo thinks of his love for Juliet, he's afraid that it might be a dream, not real. In other words, that it is too good to be true. After all, the mind has a way of playing tricks on us. So you could take these examples, you could look for other examples of dreams or references to dreams in the play, and create a whole analysis of the play based on the idea of dreams. So the motif is dreams, which leads us to the theme of illusion versus reality. What's real in the play, what's not real in the play, and in the end we wish the whole thing was in fact a dream and that Romeo and Juliet had not died. Okay, that's all I have for this today, and I will catch you another time. Bye bye.